Welcome to Holy Goldendoodles channel. Meet our associates, their ranking in our pack, their status as our house dogs, and most importantly, our family members. Follow us as our 8-week-old puppies grow up to hopefully become healthy moms of healthy puppies for qualified owners. Health testing, milestones, things they learn, cuteness they share, all included here. Please consider clicking like, share, or subscribe to our channel. Feel free to comment. It's in fact encouraged. But all rude, unnecessary, and non-productive comments will be and have been blocked and banned per pre-screening software. No questions asked. Hence the disclaimer and the announcement here. Please be kind, be respectful, and come right in and enjoy our Golden Doodle puppies who are growing and growing and growing and being health tested to become healthy moms or become healthy pets. I am not a veterinarian nor an expert. These videos are for entertainment purposes only. Please enjoy. Hi guys, I've had a couple of comments in the last few days where people were saying they were having issues with housebreaking their new puppy. Now, I don't know what the exact right way is to do it. I've had puppies all my life. I've had dogs all my life. And with the exception of a couple of puppies I had when I was just barely old enough to be married, I've had real good luck with housebreaking. I honestly believe some breeds of dogs, little tiny toy little breeds of dogs, are more of a challenge. And I don't really know why that is. It's just my experience that I had. So again, I'd like to say I'm not an expert at all. This is just what I do. So I thought I'd share what I do in case you hadn't done it, and some tips, some tricks, some do not ever do's and try to do's and all that. So since I work, I know a lot of you do, and I know that part's a challenge. But with my job, I'm fortunate enough to be able to come home every couple of hours. I'm 5 minutes from work, and then when I get off of that job, I'm self-employed, so I can do what I want to do on that. But what I am able to do is come home and potty the dogs. Now, I don't really have to do that anymore because they're old enough. I'd say by the time they're 4 to 6 months old, they can hold their urine longer. So that right at first, very strict housebreaking stuff will be not for long. I mean, it's not going to be forever. But I do say whatever you put into your dog is what you're going to get out of it. Don't punish the dog. Don't scream at the dog. Don't definitely hit the dog or rub its nose in it. I mean, some dogs eat poop, so that's not going to work. That just makes the dog afraid of you. So here's what I do. I withhold water and food unless supervised. That's not going to starve them to death. They're just going to eat at certain times. Now, the puppies, we would feed them at exactly 4 o'clock in the morning and exactly 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And just recently, we have stopped doing that because we don't have to anymore because they're almost 9 months old. That way, you can wait about between 15 and 30 minutes after they eat and drink. Take them outside, 100%. Make sure they do not come back in unless they potty. Okay, so make sure you see them potty, preferably both, pee and poop. If you're going to send one of your kids outside with the dog, make sure that you can trust your children because they'll get tired of waiting sometimes and then they'll let the dog come back in because it never did potty. Even adults do that. If that ends up being the case, bring the dog back in the house. If it will not go potty by you walking around the yard and saying, go potty, you know, and all that, bring it back in, put it in the crate. It is not mean to put your dog in the crate until you know it's pottied. They don't have to run all over the place in the house to be happy. They just need to go through that process until they understand this is not where you go potty. So I'd say mine didn't get out of the same room I was in probably until they were 5 months old. And they're just now going on 9 months old. That's just so they understand. And actually, my dogs were delayed on learning because I broke my leg the day they came home. And my husband was here, and he had a lot to do. I mean, he was taking care of me, and I wasn't allowed to put weight on my cast. Another story. But anyway, so be sure you can trust your kids. Be sure everybody in the family is on board with helping housebreak this animal. Now, most of the time, if you buy a dog from a good breeder, they're going to work on that housebreaking before you ever pick up the dog. That's what I'm doing. When my puppies are old enough, they're going to be working on housebreaking, and I'd say as soon as their eyes are open. I'll start them out on a little bark tray, or I hopefully don't have to use pee pads, because I'm going to simulate the ground. But when I brought Roxy home, which is her, she's the one that won't have puppies. She pretty much was housebroken when I brought her home. And the other two probably were, but it all got messed up because I was hurt. Anyway, so don't ever give your dogs free run of your house, ever, until they're housebroken. Because it doesn't help them or you to let them go around and find places to sneak. Another thing to do is make up some white vinegar and water and a little bit of Dawn dish liquid and keep that water made up, because you want to kill that smell. If they do have an accident in the house, I say that's the best thing to use to kill it. Vinegar neutralizes proteins, and the urine protein is what you want to do away with, because they have super strong noses, and they by nature will go back to the spot where they just use the restroom. If none of this works, you can even leash the dog to your belt loop. I had a little English bulldog that I raised from the day it was born because its mom wouldn't feed it, and I did that. I had to actually leash him to me to teach him not to potty in the house. But it's not a problem. I mean, you just need to be sure you have eyes on that puppy. When you see it start smelling around and going around in a circle, it's going to potty, so take it out. And when you see it potty, oh my goodness, just be an idiot with it. Like, oh, good dog, and pick the dog up and let it know how proud you are, because they want to please you. And then bring the dog back in the house, let it play a few minutes, put it back in the crate. And that's at the very earliest onset of housebreaking. They don't have to stay in there once they're about to get the concept. But you don't want to let all this accident stuff happen. There's a lot of work to put into it. There's no sleeping late. There's a schedule you should set. I mean, I do 4 to 4, 4 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the afternoon on feedings and things, because that works best for me, because I leave my house at 6:30 a.m. and I need to make sure everything is done with my dogs before I leave. And that way I've got coffee time and relax time and get my brain ready for the daytime and all that. And it's just easier. But see, here we are now. This 8.5 months went by quick. I've got some really good housebroken dogs. You're going to love it when you put all this work in and that's what you get out. No dog wants to be yelled at all the time. That said, when you catch the dog pottying when it shouldn't, don't scream at it, but just say like, oh no, oh. That's what I do. I'm like, oh my goodness, no, oh, no. And then I pick it up and take it outside. And seriously, I maybe had to do that 4 times. When they don't please you, they hate it. Most dogs want you to be happy with them. And even Roxy, she'll be 4 years old in February, and she still, when she potties, she looks at me like, I'm a good girl. You know, and I still tell her she's a good girl. But that's Paris there in the picture. I'm just loving on her. She got a new collar, and it's terrible, so we're having to work with that. That garbage bag there is stuff that's going to be donated. I've been cleaning closets, just saying. So anyway, back to the housebreaking. You don't have to let your dog run all over the house for it to be happy. You can take it out of the crate to play with it. But anytime you take it out, the first thing you want to do is take it outside. Take it to potty. Because usually they don't want to potty in their surroundings. Now, how do you clean out a crate that they do have an accident in? Make that vinegar water, Dawn dish liquid, and water, mop water, and clean all the stuff out of the crate and mop the crate out. Just mop it with keep a mop that's just for that. You will very rarely have any accidents because I don't think our Doodles have ever pottied in their crate. I don't remember them ever doing it. But when I mop my floors, I mop their crates. I try to keep everything super clean around them. I wash their dishes. I treat them like if they were a human being, and I'm that clean with them. And I'm telling you, they will learn to hate filth. So they're in there looking around, and somebody took a shower, and they're trying to drink shower water. Can you remember when you were a little kid how good it tasted to put a wash rag in your mouth? I can remember that. And I was a couple years old. I'd sit in the tub and suck on a wash rag. I think they're a little bit like that. But anyway, if you put those things that I've told you into practice, you're going to have a lot of good luck. But don't try to sleep late in the morning hoping that you're going to be able to, stay in bed and that dog's going to hopefully not potty in its quarters. Get up and potty the dog. If you want to sleep a little bit, get up and make sure it potties. Put it back in the crate. Tell it it's a good girl, good boy, and then, maybe sleep another hour. But hopefully there's people in your house that can help you out. But all I can say is everything you do when you bring this dog home is going to have to be for that dog's benefit so that you can have a good house pet within a few months. Now, Roxy, like I said, she came home housebroke pretty much, and she was never, ever a problem. But even then, she was like 8-10 weeks old, and her bladder wasn't very big. My dogs, by the time they were 4 months old, these two Doodles, Paris and Bougie, at 4 months old, they could hold their bladder the whole 6 hours I'm gone to work. Another suggestion, maybe put your dogs in pet daycare or get a really responsible person to come to your house and run in and out, and just check on your dogs. It's not going to be for that long. And maybe you've got a suggestion. You've got something you do and something they do that you guys could barter out and trade up the jobs. Like maybe you could babysit their dog when they go on vacation if they will come and help you get this dog housebroken. Those are things you can do. But don't let them ever have to sit in pee or poop in their crates because they will learn to not care. And that's kind of like puppy mills do. And that's why when you get a puppy mill dog, you can't do anything with it. Again, when I was first old enough to just be married and got those two little bitty teacup chihuahuas, that's pretty much, I guess, what they came from. And I didn't know what a puppy mill was. I just knew that woman wouldn't let us in the building to pick the puppies. She brought them out, That won't be the case with mine. That's why you're watching my dogs run all over my house, because that's where they live and that's where you're going to see them when you pick puppies. And I show the gates in this video. I've got some metal gates that we got on Amazon. Now, I don't promote them. I'm not affiliated with them at all, or the gate salespeople or anything like that. But these metal gates are much easier than using those little kid gates that you've got to constantly adjust them in the doorway, and then they bump them and knock them down. You can just easily get your husband, or you can even do it, just set these gates up in your doorways and restrict where the dogs get to run in your house. And that doesn't hurt them. Now, mine get to go in the den, the front room, and in the daytime, we open up the gates and let them run the whole house, the bathrooms, everything, while I'm walking on my treadmill in the exercise room, everything. But that is all going to be relevant to what they've learned. You can look into all that. Be sure you restrict the feeding time so you know when you're taking them outside to potty, how long it's been since they've had a drink of water, and all that. Now, you're going to have accidents. But if you have a hard time remembering how long since you took them out, you can also set your phone alarm. I did that. And I think I would take mine out like once an hour, right at the first, once every 30 minutes. But you just do whatever. Look at how much your dog wants to potty and how much you want to mop up. But listen, this is going to be pretty easy if you do what I'm telling you. But don't ever rub a dog's nose in any kind of poop or pee. Don't ever whip them for it, because it's just going to make them afraid of you. All they want to do is understand what you want them to do. I promise you. I'd hate to tell you how many years of experience that I have with dogs. And I am not in any way in a position to brag about any kind of results I ever get. But I have a good husband that is on board with helping me to raise good puppies. And I don't have any kids at home now, but when I did, we all pitched in together and did it. And yeah, early on, I didn't know any of this stuff, and I didn't have as good of results at the first of the puppy ownership time as I do now. Look at that sweet Roxy. She's sitting there watching for Bougie to come down through the hallway because Bougie and Pearson, they're wrestling. But anyway, I'm just saying, now I've got 2 crates beside of each other that my husband fixed and left the side doors open on them. One he turned upside down, one is upright. He left the side doors open on them so there's like an area they can get in between the 2 crates because they are litter mates and they love to be together. So we've always left them like that. Since they came home, they still have crates. Now, probably about 1 year to 2 years old, I'll decide whether or not they're old enough to not have to have a crate. Some dogs love a crate, and that's their little home, and they like to be in it. And ours are like that. They love to be in their crate when they want to be alone. But you don't have to keep a crate forever unless you've got chewing issues. If you got a chewing issue with your dog, find it the texture of what it's trying to chew on that you don't want it to chew on. Like I've got actually a little 3-foot piece of 2x4, and they chew on that because they crave wood. That keeps my coffee table legs from getting destroyed. And all you have to do is take them, that whatever, and say, this is yours, this is yours. If you catch them chewing on something they're not supposed to have, like a shoe that you want, find a shoe that you don't want and say, no, this is yours, this is a good girl, here, and give them the shoe. Mine's got a couple of shoes. They've got a couple of pairs of rubber boots. They've got a back deck they play on. I know you've seen them out there a lot. We don't let them out in the water. They've already learned to hate their feet getting muddy. You know, when it's raining, they can play in water, don't get me wrong. They have a great life, but this is the gate. This is how this gate shuts. One-handed, I'm holding the camera. Look at that. Click. And Paris will jump on that, and it doesn't tear it down. And they're real simple to put up. They just kind of sit inside of each other's connectors. There's all 3, Roxy, Boo, and Paris. See, Paris is heavy. She jumped up on there and didn't even phase it. So anyway, there's a lot of things you can teach your dogs. If you don't have a place for them to run, I'm telling you that's going to be a problem. Think about that before you get a puppy, because they need a lot of energy ran off. And if you don't let them do it, they're going to get bored and they're going to get into stuff a lot worse. And they're going to be a lot more of a problem. Like some dogs can become a little bit, nippy from not being able to wear themselves out. So if you don't have a dog park nearby, or if your yard's not big enough that you can't go out there and throw a tennis ball until they walk back with it, that's all you have to do. If they start acting a little rowdy in the house like mine do, take them outside. Now, it's so hot, I only let them stay out 5 minutes right now. But when it's nice weather and I'm off work, I go outside and sit with them on the deck, and they just run all over the yard. We have 1.5 acres. They run around, and they'll eventually get up there and lay down and just rest a while and then go back. But the exercising is essential to having a well-behaved dog. And if you don't have a place, see if you've got a friend that has a big yard that they'll let you bring your dog to run. Even if you just have a little bitty city lot, throw the ball and let them get it until they come back. And if you don't want to let them run without a leash, which is really going to be hard to do in town, make a clothesline and hook a leash through it and let them run on that. But please make sure you get them quite a bit of exercise. These are just things that I do. I know dogs. I don't know every breed, but I do know some breeds. And this is what you want to do to have a well-rounded, housebroken dog. So I hope you guys got something out of this video. The housebreaking thing I'll probably make more videos about, because it's really a serious issue to me for everybody to be happy. Make sure when you get a doodle that everybody's on board with really working for this housebreaking situation. If there's anything you can ask me that I might know, I'll tell you. I'm not an expert, like I said. I'm just a mom of grown children and grandchildren, and I just, this is my life, and I love to share if somebody wants to know what I know. So have a great day. I hope you get to get time to watch my doodles and enjoy them because they're sweet as they can be. And I thank every one of you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. You don't know what it means. I get up every day and look to see if I got new subscribers and new comments. So have a great day again. And I really, really would like to give every one of you a hug if I could. I'll be praying for you. Hope you have a great, blessed day. Bye-bye. So I decided to come back again right quick. I went ahead and took a little bit of a video of the girls' crates, how I've got them fixed to where they're right beside each other, but they got a little area they can play. Now, they've outgrown that a little bit, but still they can come out and get a drink if they want, because now we let them have water when we're gone and they're in their crates. But there's Paris's crate, and we keep treats up there for them to get them to go in their crate if they don't want to go. And there's a little area that can go cross back and forth to visit each other. The sides are open. One crate's upside down, so that door faces the other crate that's right side up at the side door. And there's Bougie's crate. I just mopped their crates yesterday. And all you got to do is just take the little blankets out, put them in the washer, mop the crates. You know, keep their crates good and non-smelly because you use vinegar water and Dawn. And they got little water dishes sitting all over the house because they're well past having to worry about drinking too much water and then pottying in the house. Because like I said, you get what you put into it. So there's Bougie's crate with the side open. We don't give them the pads in the winter because they get too, or in the summer because they get too hot, but in the winter we do. So there it is. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.